So when we talk of creating a smart survey, basically we will be using ArcGIS Survey 123, which is our application for designing survey and also collecting the data in the field. So these are the objectives. One is why ArcGIS Survey, why use ArcGIS Survey? ArcGIS Survey 123 overview, components of survey 123, and finally I'll also be demonstrating on how to create a smart survey using survey 123 Connect. So let's look at why do we need to use ArcGIS Survey. So it's actually very ideal when it comes to capturing data anywhere, anytime with survey 123. So it gives you, you're able to capture your data anywhere, anytime. Then it also gives you the platform to design a smart survey, which enables a rapid data collection. And finally, once you have your data has been collected and submitted, so you're able to analyze your results in real time for decision making. So when we look at the, so survey 123, as I had mentioned earlier, it's actually one of our field operations application. So we have several field applications. The ones that are used to generate maybe assignments, the one for coordinating the field personnel. We have other for navigating if the people in the field are not so conversant with the area where they'll be conducting a survey. You can use Navigator for ArcGIS. Then we have other application for monitoring, like the operation dashboard. And then lastly, we have the applications that are used for capturing the data. So when it comes to capturing the field data, we have two applications. We have a collector for ArcGIS that is used to collect point, line, and polygons, and it's more map-based. It's a more map-based. Then now we have ArcGIS Survey 123, which falls also under the capture category. So we used it to collect, basically it's more like a digital questionnaire. Yeah, so it's more form-based. Yeah, it's form-based. And this is what we'll be looking at. So for the next 45 minutes, we'll just be talking about the Survey 123 for field data collection. So it comes with three components. So ArcGIS Survey 123 comes with three components. One component is Survey 123 Web App, and we also have Survey 123 Connect. So both Survey 123 Connect and Survey 123 Web App, they are applications that we use to design smart forms. Then we have a Survey 123 mobile app. So Survey 123 mobile app, this is the application that we use to go to the field and collect the data. And then all that data, it's actually hosted within in the cloud. So as you serve, that's why we are talking of the real data. You're able to analyze your data in real time, because the moment they collect the data and submit, you're able to get it like almost immediately. And you're able to analyze your data in real time. So Survey 123 Web App, that is basically a web-based, just like the name suggests. So you do everything. You design your form online. Then we have Survey 123 Connect. This is a desktop application that you need to go to ArcGIS survey123.arcgis.com. So from there, you're able to download Survey 123 and install on your computer. So it comes in different operating. So we have different Survey 123 Connect just based on the different operating systems that you have. So you need to select one that will work with the kind of the operating system you're using. So when you talk of the smart surveys, so basically a smart survey is the one that enables rapid field data collection with predefined questions. So you need to first of all have your questions predefined, and then you can make use of logic constraints. So they also provide easy to fill answers using default and choice filter as well as autofill. So with these predefined questions, you can also choose the option to embed some audios and also images from the field. And you have an option to use more than one language. So if you find a situation where maybe the default language is English, but you can still translate your Survey 123 to accommodate any other language that you're comfortable with, or the people where you'll be conducting your survey. So you can translate your survey in a language that people will understand better, depending on where you'll be collecting your survey. So those are the things that makes the survey form smart, robust, and you're able to do a lot with it, just to ensure that whoever will be collecting the data in the field, they have a very easy time. So let's look at how survey 1 to 3 works. So it works in 3 steps. So the first one, you start by designing and creating survey. And I had mentioned earlier, we design using either survey 1 to 3 web app or using survey 1 to 3 connect. So you need to design. So you need to think of, you need first of all to choose which application am I using to design. Is it the web app or is it the connect Dex, which is a desktop version? So, but once you have chosen, so you go ahead and design your survey. Then once you've designed your survey, you've tested and everything is working well, you go ahead and publish it. So the moment it's published online, the people who are your field personnel can download that form and go to the field and collect the data. So the moment they collect the data, they are able to submit the data in real time if they're working online. So they just collect and submit immediately. If they're working in a place, if maybe there is no internet or they don't have internet connection in the field, so they can just, the forms as they fill, they'll be saved in an inbox. And then once they get to a place where there's internet, they can actually submit. So the moment they submit the results, so you're able to view the results. And from there, you can choose to either analyze it online or download your data to do further analysis using either the ArcGIS desktop or maybe in Excel and so forth. So when we talk of survey 1 to 3, so we just want you to think of it like just transforming your hard copy survey to a smartphone. So ideally, I know most of us, I think all of us have at one time we've ever used a hard copy questionnaire. So in this case, we'll just be trying to transform the hard copy questionnaire into a smart survey form for field data collection. So I'll have 2 demos. One is one of the demonstration is about designing a smartphone, and then the second demo will take us now to the web, just to see after the people have collected the data, they've done the survey in the field, how do you access that data? So basically, we'll have those 2 demos. One is for designing the survey and publishing it. So, and then once the data has been collected in the field, I'll also demonstrate on how you access the survey results. So allow me, so for this demonstration or for this webinar, I'll be using survey 1 to 3 connect. So that is what I'll be using. So you start it as long as you have installed it. So you just need to start the normal way you start any other application. So if you have other surveys that you have maybe designed using survey 1 to 3 connect, they will appear. But if this is if you want to start a new survey, this is where we normally start. So start a new survey. So the scenario we will be looking at today, we want to design a smartphone, a smart form that can be used to do water meter inspections within Nairobi, just for planning purposes. Because you know, with those utility companies, they normally do those routine maintenance. So they need to be able to do regularly to do some inspections. So that's what we'll be doing. So the form, I'll just call it a Nairobi Nairobi water meter inspection. Then we will use the advanced template because it has more advanced capabilities. So this is what we will use. Then you just go ahead and create a survey. So for those who are maybe this is the first time they're interacting with the survey 1 to 3 connect, it comes with some sample questions just to get you started. But for me, we don't need to use this. So I'll just go ahead and delete them. And then because I want to show you how we create one from scratch. So these are also another it comes also with some sample choices just to guide you how to go about it when you're creating some samples. Basically, how when you're creating a survey. So we normally start from here. So survey 1 to 3 has these mandatory columns: the type, the name, and the label. So I will be showing you how we fill this, but it also comes with extra fields. There are so many, there are more than 10 extra fields. It's not a must for you to use them, but they enhance your survey. So we normally use this other field just to make our survey even better. And then if you're not so sure, like here, the type of the question. So we have all these options. So when you click down here, it gives you also, it also comes with the way it guides you, like what is, when you talk of the question type. So they are all here and a brief explanation. So the appearance the same, so the field type. So these three, this from here. So the first three, these are the ones we'll be using, but all these other ones are just documentations to help you as you design your survey. So let's start with the first tab. So this is a Nairobi water meter inspection. So the first question would be, you want people, whoever is collecting the data, to key in the date of inspection. It's very important. So for the question type here, it's actually a date. So this is a date. So then you can now type the name, and under this name column, it does not accept any spaces. So instead of using spaces, you'd rather use underscore. So or any special character, it doesn't accept. So for this one, I'll just indicate this is date, and then the label. So the label is basically what what will appear on your form. So this is the date. So maybe I could indicate that here this is the inspection date. The inspection date. So inspection date. Then we may want to indicate, because we all know that within for Nairobi, Nairobi County, they have different distribution zones. So you want to indicate the date and the region where you are collecting your data. So let's indicate another one. So here we could have a list of the regions. So this one will be select at least one list name. So select name. Then you just replace this with the region. So then now you can indicate. So for me, I'll just, it has to be identical, especially where you're providing choices. So whatever you put on your type and the name, and also the choice column here, they need to be identical. So here I'll just indicate also region. Then we need CPC select one region. So we have several regions, but for the sake of time, I'll just do a few. So the first region could be Eastern region. So you also need to indicate that this is the region. So under the list, these are the choices. So region number 1 is, we have Eastern. Then we have Central. I'll just do a few, but we have even the Western, the Northeastern, and the Northern part. So you can put as many choices as possible. You can put as many choices as possible. And I want the same information here. This is the label, because this is what they'll do. So those regions also comes with other zones. So each region is also further subdivided into different zones. So we may want to also use this option for selecting at least one list. So, and then this list is actually for the zone. So you replace one list with, you replace the list with whatever you want. So I'll just pick this zone. So here I'm just demonstrating on how you can easily create your survey. So you also need to, because you're talking of select one, so it means that you need to provide choices. So I'll do choices for the zones here. Sorry. So let me replace this with zone. So I'll just go ahead and also get go to the choices and also provide the zones as well. This is zone. Then So for the zones, we have maybe zone 1. Then we have zone, would be having zone 2. Would be having zone 3. And so forth. So you can have as many zones as possible. So you can have as many zones, and then you need to indicate, like for zone 1, maybe this is zone 1 and which region. It could be, this could be maybe like the CBD. The CBD, then we have another zone maybe for Upper Hill. We could be having another zone maybe for like Umoja. Maybe Umoja is zone 3. And so forth. So with these ones, you can have, this list can be as long as possible. Then we could also be having the serial number, like if you already have the information which exists within your database. So you can make your form smarter in a way that it's able to pull some information from that. Like we want, like once you have selected the region and the zone, the next thing you need to select the serial number, and we need also to provide the serial number for that. So you just need to, so for this one, this now for the serial number, they're also selecting. So it's just select one, then you indicate a serial number. Serial number. So it means that you also need to, you need to select, or you need to have also to create another list for the serial number from here. So, but this one, since it's information that already exists, like I have this CSV, so we're assuming that you already have this information within your database. You already have this information. So if you already have this information, so you can make your form smarter in a way that it's able to pull this information. So for now, you just need to list all the serial number the way they are. Then from there, it will pull the others. As soon as someone selects that serial number, they're able to, I think I'll just select the first 3 columns just to save on time. So under the choices, I just want to paste this information, and then I can easily delete, so that I'm only left with the serial number. So you need, we're just trying to get the information that is existing within. But now for the other subsequent questions, I will not type anything. I'll just configure it in a way that you're able to pull that information. So let's go back. So once you have selected the serial number, so automatically we want this information to be auto-filled, like the meter size and the installation date. So let me show you how to go about it. So with this one, what you need to do is just, so in this case, I'll just use a different type of a question type. This is a note. So note basically is not editable, because we want this information to be autofill. So the information about the installation date and the meter size. So that one, I'm not populating anything. So for this meter size, I just want that to be pulled, information to be pulled from the, so that is it. So the meter size. So what we normally do, you just need to, once you have created your survey, you just need to copy this CSV, the information. You just need to extract the information you have in your database as a CSV. Then you copy that CSV and you paste it in the default location for the survey. If you're creating a survey using survey 123 connect, this is the path. So you just need to go to see users. Then this can change depending on the name of the user. Then you go to ArcGIS. Then we have this my survey design. So the moment you click on it, you get this is the survey we are designing. So you just double click on it. Then we have this media folder. So you just need to paste that information there. So once you paste that information there, and then you now add that expression that will allow to auto-populate this field depending on the kind of a question that you have selected there. So let's go to the other. Now I'm just showing you how to take advantage of these other columns, like the one for the calculations. So for this one, I'll just there's a formula we use to pull that information. So just to save on time, I had already created I had extracted those formulas that I want to use. So with just a minor adjustment. So all these formulas exist within the ArcGIS survey documentation. They are available. So for now, what we want to do, so the first field here is about the name of your CSV. So the name of this CSV that I will be using, it's actually meters. So I need to replace this field workers with the meters. So I need to replace this. And then what I want it to pull, this is now the field that I want it to be auto-populated. This is the information about the meter size. So I'll just go ahead and type meter size. It has to be the same way it appears on that CSV. So I think it's still the same the way it is here. So I'll just copy this and replace it with this ID number, because that's the information I want it to pull. And then the name, it's based on this previous selection here. So it is based on the serial name. So we want it to auto-populate this column based on the serial number or the meter serial number that has been selected in the above question. So I'll just replace this and also replace this with that. So what we've just done, let me just confirm if they are labeled the same. I think I have it here. I just want to confirm that the way I've typed those, the CSV names, the columns, they're just a replica of what we have here. So yeah, I think they are the same meter size and serial number. So because it has to be replica for it to understand that you're actually pulling data from this. And then I think for now we can try and save. We see so far what we've done. So like here we have like the inspection date, you can now choose today. Then you select which region. So if it is Eastern or whichever is Central, then we have all these. So you can see that we have the choices are now available. If I choose Eastern, I get to see the column for that. If I choose the first serial number, let's see if yeah, you can see that it has automatically filled that. So that's what we're trying to do. So that's working. So let's continue designing this form for us. So we also sometimes imagine that you're working with Nairobi region. It's the regions within Nairobi. There are so many. So sometimes we also apply what we refer to as cascading. So we can also apply cascading in a way that the moment someone's maybe select like the Eastern region, when it comes to zones, it automatically filters. You're only able to see only the zones that are within the Eastern region. If someone select like the Central, it automatically filters for you to only see the regions with or the zones within the Central region. So what we do under these choices, we can now introduce what we refer to as the cascading option, so that it automatically filters for you depending on the kind of selection you've made here. So I'll choose the first one here. So you just need to add other columns. So the good thing with this, it allows you to add other columns up here. Like for now, I'll just add a column for the zone. And it has to, yeah, so I'll just indicate zone. And then now I can indicate that this, now I need to indicate region, sorry. I need to indicate a region, not because I want to filter based on the region that someone selects. So I'll do the region. Then now for this, so like I want to indicate like for CBD and Upper Hill, like the CBD, this is under the eastern region, or the central region, sorry, under the central region. Then I also want to indicate that for the upper hill, this is also under central region. Then we can have Umoja under the eastern region. So what happens is that if I select now, like if I select eastern region, it's only Umoja that will appear. So let me copy and paste it. And then when it comes to the serial number, we want, like, the moment you select your zone, you only get to see the serial number for that particular zone instead of seeing the serial number for all the zones that are available. So for this, you can also indicate now the zone column to filter now the serial number based on the zone. So like here, I will indicate that this one is for zone 1. So this one is for zone 1. Then I can just pick the last one for Umoja. For now, I don't have so many examples. Just to save on time, I'm not typing a lot. And then, so once you, I've just put them in the wrong column. So allow me to just move them. So that is it. And then now we need to, once you have prepared it like this, what you need to do is to go to the next phase. So just go back to the survey, and we use what we refer to as a choice filter. A choice filter. So this is also another field that is rarely used. So we want to, these are the two. So here what we need to do is to indicate that the choice will be based on the region. So I'll just type region equals region, so that it filters the zones based on the region selected. So we also want the serial number also to be filtered based on the zone that someone has selected. So I'll also do the same, zone equals brackets zone. So let's go ahead and save this information, and we see what happens on our okay. So let's just check where the issue is. Oh yeah, I did not do a $sign here. I think that's why it's not working. So let me do that and see. So I can just go ahead and save, then we see. Yeah, it's now working. So assuming like now I've selected Eastern, so you can see that it's only Umoja. So if I do Central, so it filters that. So if I do like the CBD, does it mean I did not do any serial number for this? So the Eastern region, we have Umoja, so we should be having some serial number for the CBD. So let me just confirm what's happening. So I can go back to the choices. I think I need to replace this with the actual zones here. I have the one for CBD, and let me replace this with, no, I think it should just be this one. So let me just go back and see the kind of selection I'm making there. But ideally, it should be once you select the CBD, it takes some of the serial. So I think maybe from my CSV, I have not provided that information because remember, it's supposed to pull. But ideally, what's supposed to do is like once you select a particular zone, it just filters for the ones that are particular for that region. Then let me just show you how to do something else before I'm done with the designing, because I already have another one which is fully designed. So maybe we may want to, I'll just add maybe one more just to show you the other options that we have. This will be a text. So this could be the name of the client. So that is the name. So this could be the name of the client. So the name of the client, this is a text. So sometimes you may find that when people go to the field, they mix the lowercase and the upper cases. So we may want to restrict in a way that once you, the moment we want like all the names of the clients to be in upper cases. So we can also use these other options that we have them here. We can now apply the constraints for this question here, so that all the names of the clients are in uppercase. So this is what I will use. There's this formula. I'll just copy and paste it. So I'd already written them down. So under the constraint, I want to apply this. And now I can just, so if you want lower cases, you just leave it the way. If I want it in uppercase, so I'll just change this to uppercase. So what it will do, it will ensure that all the questions are in upper, all the text that comes in for the name of the client is in upper case. Then for the date of inspection, you also we may want to put some constraints to ensure that whoever the inspection date, you cannot change. It automatically picks the date for that particular day and you cannot change. So we may want to do this. So by just doing a full stop, then equals today, and then we close the brackets. And we can also use the default. Remember, we are designing a smartphone, so some of the things should just auto-populated. So here you just need to indicate today, and then that. So what it will do, it will ensure that it auto-populates with the date on that particular day when you're doing the survey, and you cannot change that. So let's save these and see if that has been effected. So you can see the date now, it's auto-populated. So I can just try to switch to a different date, and then we see. And so let me just try to validate. You see already you get some invalid date. So here the thing you can do, you can just give some hints that you need to choose the current date and you should not change. So the same case with these for the name of the clients. So let me just try to use a lowercase, then we see what will happen. So this one, we could just first of all replace it to the current date for today. So you can see this is also, we are also getting another invalid. So this is some of the things that you can actually do to ensure that your survey is actually, it's working for you and you're putting some restriction. Then I had also mentioned some of the things. So with this constraint message, so you can indicate that here put current date. Just for that is you get the invalid warning. You also get to know exactly what you're doing wrong. So another capability I wanted to show lastly, it's about the language. So you can also change the language to something that is you're comfortable with, or the people in the ground are comfortable with. Like now by default we are using English, but you can also change these to maybe like Swahili. And then you can also replace this as the acronym for Swahili. And then now you need to replace everything, or just to translate everything on the label column, like the inspection date. This could be tarehe ya ukaguzi. Then you do region is core. So you need to translate everything. You need to translate everything within using Kiswahili language. The same cases for your choices. So for your choices, you can see we have this. So you can also replace this to Swahili, and then you try and translate whatever is on the label column. So since I've just tried to translate a few things, let's see if you can do that. So with now, you can just click here, then you see it gives you the option to choose from one language to another. So let's go Swahili. Yeah, so you can see tarehe ya ukaguzi, mkoa, and then it's only that I've not finished all the others. So since I had already done one, which is it's complete because designing can take some time. So allow me to just close this so that I just show you how the completed form would have looked like if maybe we had gone ahead and finished everything. So I will now open a complete form. So this is what we will publish. So once you have your survey 1 to 3, once you have your survey 1 to 3 and it's fully designed like this one, so you can see if I select central, we have all these regions for the central region. Then if you take eastern, we have all these. So if I maybe choose like Kayole, and then I choose the serial number, it also auto-populates all these other information, like the name of the client you can type, the account number. So the consumer type, is it industrial, is it domestic, is it institution, the status, is it working, faulty. So you can see it's actually, this is how you design it. So if you want to take photo, to map the exact location where the meter is, you can still do that. I had also translated it in Swahili. So you're able to see, like, if you've decided, so you cannot have like a hybrid, you cannot mix. If you're translating, ensure that you have translated the entire form. So like this one now, I have all those now translated in Kiswahili. And then when it comes to designing or just trying to, you can also try to style your survey or to customize to now have that, what we refer to as the corporate colors. So like here, you can do the logo by just clicking on here, then you navigate to where the company logo is, you pull it, and then you need to give a proper title, summary, and the description. Then for the style, this is where we normally play around with the colors so that you design a form that has the company's corporate colors. So once you're done with then I could also maybe go to the CSV to just show you all the other fields that we are using, just to make it easier. You can see, like, for the appearance, we have different appearance. So this is basically how you want your choices to appear. So we use the appearance. So you can just play around with it as you see, just to see how the different questions will appear. So you can see I've applied the default to auto-populate the column for the field, for the date. I'm pulling information from an existing CSV. I'm also doing, so you just need to ensure that you design it the same. So for the language, you can see I went ahead and translated all the questions. So once you're done with designing your form, the moment you're done with designing your form, the next thing you need is to publish. So the only way people can collect the data is by publishing. So I'll just go ahead and publish. So you need first of all to log in. For me, I had already logged in. So then you can go ahead and publish. So you get a warning that the moment you publish, you cannot change anything without losing the data. So for now, I'll just go ahead and publish. So the moment you publish, your survey is hosted in survey123.arcgis.com. That is where you find your survey. So the moment it finishes publishing, we'll just go now to go online, and then we go ahead and share. Once we share, people are able to collect the data. So for now, we've completed So I'll just go to the browser. So I'd already logged in survey 123. So I just need to refresh so that I get the survey that has been published recently. Yeah, so this is the survey we have published. But for now, you can see we still have zero record. It's not even ready for people to go ahead and collect the data. So we use this collaborate tool here for us to be able to share with the people that will be collecting the data. So we have all these options. So you can open it directly in a browser. You can choose to either to open in a browser or in a field application. Then we also have this. So for now, I want it to open directly in a browser because I also want you to help me collect some data so that I can show you how you access the data. So I'll leave the first option, but if you want purely the survey to be done in survey 123, you use the last option. And then whom do you want to share? So for now, I want to make it public for you to be able to populate the data, but you can still select specifically you can share it with a specific group that is used for collecting data in your organization. Then we also have these options of the survey. Yeah, it's now currently open, but you can also schedule when the survey opens and when it is closed. Because being a survey as much a form, you may want to limit the idea of you closing the survey or people submitting the data past their deadline. So you may schedule. So we say that this opens as from. So I want it to open at around 11 there. So I'll just change this to 11. 11, yeah. And then I want it here today, but for it to be closed, we can give some dates that I want these are closed on. I'm just trying to see the dates. So I can just maybe say it closes on Saturday. So I'm just trying. So here, let me first of all change this time to, I don't know why it's forcing me to do, but you can, I don't want it by 12 because I know by 12 will be done and I want you to be able to select or to be able to actually help me fill this form. But you can also, so the idea here is like you can choose when you want your survey to be closed, when you want it to open. So here it will automatically open and close for you. So anyone start trying to submit the data past the deadline do not be able to do that. For now, I want to remove this one. So I just want put it open. I've already shared it publicly. And then so I can just go ahead. So what I want to do is to share this with you, this link with you, so that you can try and just test it. You help me to collect the data so that I can demonstrate on how. So So kindly, I have shared that. So I have shared the link. So kindly use that link to populate so that I demonstrate on the last section on how to access the data. So this is the link we are using. So as soon as one or two people have managed, kindly let me know. I think I can also copy and try to fill some information as I wait for you to submit. So let's continue populating the information. So how many so far have managed to collect the data? So I have 4 records so far. So once you have data already submitted, so once you have the data submitted, I have 4 records. Thanks. Still filling in. So what you normally do, you just need to click on the Analyze tab. So once you click on the Analyze tab, you're able to see the kind of information that is coming from the field. And it means that now you have data. So with ArcGIS Survey 123, what it does, it analyzes your questions. Each question are for you. Like now I can see the inspection date, so majority. So we're able to see the date. Then you can also look at the regions. So let's look at in terms of the regions. So it's like most of the surveys have been done within the central region. So it goes ahead and analyzes. So let's see the consumer type. So it's like majority are for domestic. So the inspection remarks. So it gives you that option to analyze a question 1 at a time. So you can even see some photos. So most of them are faulty and actually they need repair. We don't have any that needs a replacement. So ideally, this is what it works. That's how it works. And then now, once you have your data, you still have an option of even downloading the same information. So by just clicking on the data tab, so you can easily, yeah, we have issues here. I think it's because we are all of us are indoors, but there's a way you can restrict that you cannot submit your data when you are maybe off by several meters. So that is also another thing that you can submit. But I didn't want to submit because I knew we will be submitting this data when we are still indoor. That's why I did not want to use that option for applying the accuracy threshold. That's why I did not do that. And then so we have our data. So from here you have an option of either downloading as a CSV, Excel, KML, shapefile, or geodatabase, a file geodatabase. So this gives you the options to either do further analysis within the ArcGIS platform, or if you want to do your analysis in Excel and so forth. So you can even generate a report. So you can even generate a report like we can just do for all the records. Then this report will be generated. Then you can use, you choose whichever template you have. So we have different templates that are available. So I could choose that one. So by default, the first one is selected. And then you can just go ahead now and so I want to use these templates. Let me see if I think there is one field that is missing here. Sorry. I think I've closed my survey. Let me just open it for you. Sorry for that. So what I was trying to do is like you can easily generate a report that will be used. So here, this is where I was. So what the report does, so you can generate a report per feature, or you can generate a report based on the selected view. And then this report can even be accessed in Word document, as a Word document. So basically that's what I was trying to do. But because of time, I will not go into the detail of creating a report, but you can actually do that. The moment you generate, it creates a report and it gives you an output, either as Word or as a PDF, depending on how you want it. So this brings us to the end of our presentation. So if you have any question, kindly, you can now, the floor is open for question and answers.